Well, a very interesting thing just happened recently. We showed earlier a clip I've posted this early this morning where Bernie Sanders went on The View, kind of halfway called out the DNC and defended Tulsi Gabbard. Didn't really do the best of jobs at it, but nonetheless, he still did a little something. Well, someone else took a trip to The View. And oh boy, were there some fireworks. And this would be a person you would not expect to be having this sort of a political argument, let's say. Pamela Anderson. Who would have thought it? Seriously, who would have thought that it would be Pam Anderson who would go on The View and make such a case and actually spar with basically everyone on the show, mainly with Meghan McCain. And what were they sparring about? Julian Assange. Yeah, the guy from WikiLeaks, Julian Assange. So without further ado, I just want to get right to it. Let's take a good look at this clip.
When you were visiting him, he was allegedly kicked out of the Ecuadorian embassy because he was defecating everywhere and creating messes.
No, well, that's a smear campaign. That's not true.
There was video of things that happened. I mean, I don't.
What would you do if you were locked in a room for
just really quick
6 years?
Well, I wouldn't be a cyber terrorist, which he is. He hacked information. His leaks included classified documents that put our national security at risk, our military,
you know who
and the
put our
lives of
national security
spies
at risk
and diplomats
is the military. How many people have the American government killed innocently, and how many has WikiLeaks?
So you think the military is putting the government at risk?
The military has put many innocent lives at risk.
Oh, calm down, sir. I'm actually genuinely curious about your relationship with him.
War crimes need to be punished, and they haven't. The war crimes that he's exposed, no one's done anything about it. But they put him in jail to shut him up.
Are you talking about the 210 video of the helicopter fire killing civilians in Iraq?
Yeah, well, that's one thing, but there's so many other things that he's exposed. And it's not just America he's exposed. He's exposed Russia. He's exposed all sorts of different countries.
That's a controversial area, Russia. A lot of people say that, that as does the Mueller report, that Assange interfered in the 2016 election by conspiring with Russia by releasing hacked emails, which hurt Hillary Clinton. It's almost like, is he responsible for giving us Trump? I mean, his timing and the way
the timing, but you know, Hillary Clinton is responsible for Trump. She's the one that
because why is he a Trump supporter?
No, I was with him.
A lot of people think
then why would he help Trump?
Well, he wasn't helping Trump. He was trying to tell the American people true information that Hillary Clinton was doing, so they could make an educated choice. And I think FBI kind of put the nail in that coffin.
But do you mean to tell me that he had nothing on Trump? Come on. And that didn't get released.
I don't know. I don't know if he had something on Trump, he would have put it out there.
And also that when
he had to
released her emails. I mean, the question I have though is like, what would you say to? I know, but that doesn't mean everything should be. The question I have though is like spies that go out and put their lives at risk, like Congressman Will Hurd, who we were just talking about, who's dedicated decades of his life to helping fight terrorism. It's classified information. I believe is classified for a reason. I do have some faith in the U.S. government, although as a conservative, I have less faith normally than liberals do. So what would you say to the spies who are putting themselves at risk for our national security with your relationship with him?
Well, I don't think there's nothing proven that he's actually put anybody at risk. They've gone through this over and over again, and I think that people like Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning are heroes, and Julian Assange is a publisher.
Putin also thinks that.
But also, Pam, he put people in danger by refusing to redact sensitive information, including Social Security numbers and other private material.
Well, I think the New York Times and everybody else put out the same information. I think they actually put it out even before him. I think he redacted more than they did. So it's a big thing. I think true information is true information, and I think that he's obviously. He's gone where no man has gone before, so I guess we're putting him. He's the man in the whale's mouth. He's he's trying to set up it so other people can make sense of it because it's a new thing. It's a new thing. We're used to business as usual.
What I'd love to know is what was he trying to do? What was his point? Because he actually did hurt quite a few people. He actually did, and I want to know, what did he think he was doing? What was the outcome in his mind supposed to be?
Well, obviously there's other people probably could speak better for him than me, but he just believes in justice, believes in honesty, believes in exposing governments for what they're really doing, and people have the right to know what is happening, and there's so many awful war crimes that need to be exposed that, you know, he really, his whole intention is to stop these senseless wars. War is a business. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help anybody. And I think he really, a lot of people, being in France, being in Canada, aren't too happy with America and how they meddle into everybody's business and start all these senseless wars.
But
so,
he's meddling in everybody's business, too.
Well, he's exposing, but he's not saying his opinion. He's giving the information.
I get that.
But you would be
he's a publisher.
I get that you consider him a whistleblower.
Well, he's a publisher.
He's also dangerous.
Yeah. But he's a publisher, and he's a publisher, and he supports whistleblowers.
He's certainly stirred up a lot in this country.
Well,
he's a cyber terrorist. I'll say it.
The Republican Party won.
It's ridiculous. I'm not going to stand by this. It's ridiculous.
We're going to have a little bit of fun next segment.
Yes. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Pamela Anderson is sticking around. We'll be right back after this.
Started a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Where do I even begin with that? I guess I'll go ahead and get the obvious one out of the way. Would somebody please shut Meghan McCain up? Seriously. That's bad when the rest of the people on The View are getting on my nerves far less and seem like saints in this video. And they're all trying to attack Assange and you know, basically seem like he was doing absolutely no good whatsoever. Joy Behar, oh, he was for Trump. It was for Trump. He helped Trump win against Hillary Clinton. So why is the Trump administration not pardoning him? If he was in bed with Trump and the Russians, oh boy, the boogeyman Russia again, okay? If that was really the case, then why is the Trump administration not giving him a full pardon? Why did he get extradited and get brought back to the United States and now is facing charges and sitting in jail? I mean, really? No, he's not in bed with Donald Trump. Julian Assange has been exposing things, and it doesn't matter if you're on the left or on the right. If you've got corruption and he gets a hold of it, he exposes it and lets the people know. And the fact that they are sitting here attacking what happened, what he exposed. Oh, it was classified material. And gee, I wonder why, considering it showed the military doing what's called a double tap, hitting an area, circling back around, and when the first responders and medical units are on the battlefield trying to clean and take care of the wounded, they circle back around and hit first responders. A huge no-no. It showed that innocent and civilians were targeted. And these people were laughing about it. And laughing while doing it. That's what he exposed. He exposed war crimes. And yet the people who perpetrated those war crimes, they're not facing anything. The guy who told the truth and exposed the truth, he's the one facing criminal charges. What kind of a backwards ass world are we living in here? Seriously? And if you really have that much of a problem with the fact that he did real journalism and exposed real truth to the American people, then I want to make one point. You should be a heavy critic of the Pentagon Papers. The whole scandal with the Pentagon Papers that exposed the war crimes in Vietnam on Richard Nixon. But, those were praised and praised very well, and they're looked back on historically as great discoveries. What the heck's the difference? They did the same thing. Take out one war, insert another war, and you've got the same thing. What half of the people on The View only care about I'll guarantee you they wouldn't have any problem with Julian Assange if it wasn't for the fact he exposed dirt on Hillary Clinton, which could have contributed to the fact why people refused to vote for her when they saw that her and the DNC rigged the primaries against Bernie Sanders. That's what the burr in their saddle is. Okay? It's the fact that he exposed dirt on Hillary Clinton and they didn't get their beloved Hillary elected. That's what their issue is. Now, how about the rest of them? How about the Meghan McCains? Oh, I mean, take your pick what Meghan McCain's issue is. First of all, she's very obnoxious, very just complete spoiled little brat, in my opinion. I mean, that's what she's always come across to me as. And she thinks that, I think Kyle Kalinske put it best on his secular talk video on this, actually. She's got it somewhere in her mind that if I just speak about this issue in a condescending tone, I'm going to sound more right. I'm not going to argue it with actual facts. I'm not going to argue it with, statements that have factual basis behind them. I'm not going to argue it with some common sense. I'm just going to sit here and speak about it in a condescending tone. And I'm going to get my point across. He's a cyber terrorist. Are we kidding? Calm down, sir. You calm down, Meghan McCain. Really? Really? You just don't like the fact that someone is calling out the lovely war machine. And I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but let's just remember here, Meghan McCain, the daughter of John McCain, the man who sang, bomb, 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 Iran. Yeah. History shows John McCain was not a peacenik. He was definitely a war hawk. Okay? He was all about some conflict. Now, I don't want anyone to think that I don't respect John McCain's service for the country. We've covered that in other videos. I think what he did during his time was heroic, and I give him all the credit in the world for that. But as far as his foreign policy was concerned, he was a war hawk. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. That's what your problem is. That's why you tried to pull those same tactics on Tulsi. Now, to Pam Anderson, it's all about you don't expose our military, and we should run rampant around the world, carrying out regime change for good old America. Okay? That's the Meghan McCain stance. That's the neocon Republican stance. And that's exactly what Meghan McCain is. She fits the neocon Republican mold like a glove. Okay? But Pam Anderson, wow. Hey, I was impressed. Who would have thought that somebody like Pam Anderson would be going on to a news outlet speaking that much truth and having to fight an entire panel of show hosts to speak up for the First Amendment right to freedom of speech and the freedom of the press? Why? Just because Julian Assange doesn't work for one of your reputable news outlets like NBC or CBS, ABC, the one you're currently on, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Because he doesn't work for one of those networks, he's not entitled to those same rights. He's not entitled to publish findings like a real journalist. Now, people say he tried to hack into systems and things like that, but I mean, look, That gets disputed first and foremost. Most of the stuff Assange has published, he got from other people. He didn't go and do it himself. He was given the information and he published it. Just like an honest journalist should have. But see, even if one of those journalists on one of those networks had gotten that kind of information, those networks would absolutely have not allowed it to ever go on the air. Wouldn't have happened. No. Why? Because it's going to expose more of the corruption from the military-industrial complex. Again, these news outlets are the mouth of the status quo in the swamp for the left and the right. They may bash the right on a lot of things on a day-to-day basis, but they get right in line with that swampy right, Mitt Romney and company, as we talked about earlier today. They get right in line with them when it comes time for a good war or a good regime change, or when someone's exposing the corruption of the military. Oh, they're neck and neck with some, neocon Republicans at that point. And so are a lot of these corporate Democrats. Two sides of the same coin. So, hey, Pam Anderson, hey, thumbs up and congratulations. We need more people like you out there when they go on telling this kind of truth, standing up for people's First Amendment rights, and not backing down and not being bullied down by little spoiled people like Meghan McCain who think they can just talk about it in a condescending tone and shut your point up, or everyone else who wants to throw a fit that because someone told the truth, their lovely little candidate didn't get elected president. So this was awesome. Was not expected whatsoever. I could have seen if somebody like Jesse Ventura ever went back to The View or something where he would say these sorts of things. But but I just did not expect this from Pam Anderson. But it was a nice surprise, and I had to make a video about it. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Independent Report. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Also, please subscribe to the channel as we're trying to grow this channel to reach more and more people every day. And if you subscribe, be sure that you ring that bell so that you stay up to date and get notifications when we release new content. Also, please support us in the link below with our Patreon. We're trying to make this channel grow. Funds will be used to grow the channel and to reach more people. We appreciate your support, and we hope you tune in next time.